Hey, what's up, guys? Wanted to make another video on music production tips, mainly for beginners, people who are starting out. So, I'm gonna put on my glasses because everyone knows when you put on glasses, you become instantly smarter. So, I think there's a lot of misconceptions people have when they're starting out, and so I'd say one one rule just in making any art is that things that are done quickly are not done well, and things that are done well are not done quickly. And that doesn't just apply to music, that applies to anything. Um, you go on YouTube and you see these producers who in like a 10-minute video pump out this like banger, like, hey, I'm gonna make this song that emulates this certain artist. All right, I got my drum beat, and then like the video skips and it's like, all right, I added this part and it just like sounds amazing, and by the end of this 10-minute video they're like, all right, here's the track, and they press play. And I think for like a lot of young people who are starting out in producing, they might think that they suck because they can't pump out these excellent songs in like an hour. And even long before YouTube became a big thing, I think people felt this way, that they were supposed to be able to do these things fast. But YouTube has just made it worse. Even though I love those videos, they're like really informative and everything, but you will notice in almost all of them, these are recorded in rooms that either don't have windows, or if they do, those windows are covered, because they know with those edits, because it probably took them probably days of filming, but they just talk in a way that seems like it's like in all in one sitting. So they know if they're like, hey, all right, I'm going to make a drum beat. And then they're like, all right, now I'm going to put this guitar part, and out back you see it's sunny, and then all of a sudden it's dark, and then it's like sunny and it's dark. So they don't want you to know how much time is passing in between these quick camera cuts, because there's probably a lot if that song sounds good. And the more views and subscribers they have, the more inclined they are to put time into making that song so that it's done well, because the better it is, the better, all in all. So what that basically leads into is the second one, which is you have to love the process. And again, this doesn't just apply to music, it applies to anything, all art and not even art. If you read the book Mastery by Robert Greene, he basically analyzed all of like the masters throughout history, the people who were just at the top of their game, the best in the world, and not just in art, but like sports, martial arts, music, whatever it was. And he found the common factors between them, one of which they all loved the process of what they did, and they weren't just seeking that outcome. And oftentimes these excellent outcomes, these like accomplishments that we look up to and we want to emulate, were done not because it was specifically planned, but because they loved the process so much that that was like just a collateral damage. It just came out of their love of just the process. So for music and producing, the process is basically sitting there for hours. You want a kick drum, doot 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 doot. Anyone who produces knows what I'm doing right now. You tap your finger, doot, you hear one, bonk, dink, bonk, and you just go and you're just like, which one's? Oh, okay, maybe that one. So you click and drag it. There you go. The next day you wake up and it's like, all right, I added this second part. Now the kick drum doesn't fit. So and it on and on you go. And I had a few friends in high school who heard some of the songs that I was doing, and they're like, dude, that's sick. Like, I want to learn how to do that. And I noticed how impatient they were, as if like the whole process of like building the song was like this chore, because they just wanted that like end result to go show off, and like show girls, and yeah, like they wanted that whole second part, but they didn't actually like to just open the DAW and just have fun playing with sounds. Because I never like intended to make anything good. I never thought like, yeah, I'm a great, whatever. I just really liked opening my audio software and turning knobs and making sounds, and I could just do it for just hours. So that's just one thing I've noticed about myself, is that I'm just kind of, I don't always enjoy it, but I'm just addicted to the process of music. Because again, it's like what most people would say it is a chore, is just something I just say that's just what I do. Because I'm 32, I've been doing it for long enough. I won't even go as far to say that I like love the process, because again, it's just what I do with my time. When I'm not at work, that's generally what I'm doing. And another thing that kind of ties into that is, it's this saying, it's called "show me your lab," which basically means whether you're creating a product to market, or you're creating a song or whatever it is, anyone who's like ever made anything great, whether they built a product and it just went super viral, they became like millionaires, blah blah blah, chances are that wasn't the first product that they ever invented or came up with. And the same way that like a chemist is like making these concoctions, some are just experiments, some have potential, and then others are like the ones that he would want to like sell. And so the question you would ask that person first, it's like, well, before I see your whole grand idea, is show me your lab. Because again, it ties into loving the process. Because if like you were a chemist and you didn't genuinely love experimenting with chemicals and like learning about the elements and all that, then you wouldn't come up with that like genius idea. You can't be someone who's like, I hate doing this, but I want that great idea. So it's not something that's easy to force yourself to do. Love the process. It's just something you have to be honest with yourself about, and to basically ask yourself, why are you getting into music, or why are you getting into any art? Did you meet somebody who had some kind of status, or they impressed people, and you thought, hey, like I really want to be like that? See, like if you're coming from that perspective, you're coming from like the top down, and it doesn't always work that way. Although there are a lot of people who get into that and then they end up loving the process. So it's just something to kind of ask yourself, is why are you getting into this? Is it because you love to just experiment on your own and just build things? Or do you want some kind of status, or do you want something to show off? So yeah, when it comes to, again, loving the process, there's a saying, it says, you have to have 10 bad songs to get one good song, 10 good songs for one great song, and then 10 great songs to make like the song. So I don't have like my screen share up right now. I'm not going to look into it, but if I could show you how many FL Studio files I have, it's like probably 500 of them. Most of them are just like a little drum beat I made, and then I hit Control S, and I never really like revisited it. But yeah, like 1% of them are the ones that I consider are good, and of those good ones, like half of them end up like being songs that I'm like going and showing people, or like putting on an album or something like that. So you could say it's like, in that sense, like that's my lab, that whole jumble. Because a lot of times I'll go and like revisit it, and I'll just open random projects and there's like good little ideas in them, and it's like you just never know And it's something I mentioned in another video, whereas like you want to experiment not always with things that you think will work. You know, just experiment with crazy stuff. Just do stuff you think won't work. Just do stupid stuff. That's why the software is there. Let's not forget that this software is there to just like have fun and just, you know, experiment and see what you can do. It's like the magic of using a computer to make these vibrations in the air, and it's just awesome. It's cool. So yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. I could probably ramble for a while longer. So yeah, just wanted to throw out those tips for you. Yeah.